Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of
Talk, Heal, Evolve. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Ebony.
Ebony, let's take them on a journey of healing and self-discovery.
Yes.
Grab your seat.
Wrap yourself in a cozy blanket.
Don't forget that journal.
And prepare to dive into conversations that nurture the soul.
I think it's time to create intentional space for growth and evolution.
Girl, you ready?
Let's get into it.
Welcome, 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 guys, to another episode of Talk, Heal, Evolve. I'm your girl, Ebony.
Stephanie.
And we have another banger for them today,
Yes.
Stephanie. Another great topic for you all. So excited to be here.
Same.
Stephanie, tell them, what's the topic for today?
Today we're talking about what is success.
What is success?
Yes, we see success all over the place.
We do.
But let's really get into what it really is.
Agreed. Okay. Let's get into it.
What?
So before we start on our perspectives of success, I wanted you to tell the people, like, what is success from society's standards or society's viewpoint?
Yeah. So I think that the definition has narrowed down to something monetary.
For sure.
And Google has said that success nowadays in society says fame, wealth, and social status.
Absolutely.
So that's what they say. What you say?
Absolutely. So for me, I feel like success is achieving personal goals, like whatever that may mean to you. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. What about you?
Okay. I think success for me means happiness and comfort to do what I want to do, as opposed to fame, wealth, social status.
Yeah.
Maybe some of those will be a result of that.
Right.
But as long as I'm happy and I'm able to do the things that I want to do, I think that that's a successful life.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. So in defining success and how it correlates to happiness for some people in a definition, what would you consider happiness to be?
So I think happiness is an extension of joy.
Okay.
Right? So it's not something that can be given to you, because I think that when something is given to you, it can be taken away.
Okay.
So it's not like by a thing or, having a thing or something that somebody gives you, but it's more of a state of being. And so you're just pleased with the things that are happening. You are just happy with the people around you. You're happy with the effort that you've put into things.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's just a state of happiness, a state of gratefulness.
Okay.
Yeah.
A state of gratefulness is really good.
Yeah.
Like just being present to what you have and where you are in life.
Yes.
And being content with that, but not in a way that you don't want more for yourself.
Right.
But just being content and happy with where you are.
Absolutely, because I think success always evolves.
For sure.
Especially when you speak to goals, right?
Yeah.
So once a goal is met, in my mind, a new goal is set.
Absolutely.
Right? You meet one, you set one.
Right.
And so it's not a rat race for my success, right? It's just, okay, this is great. I'm
gradual.
happy with it. Yeah, I'm grateful. But let's see if we can go here. And it's just a nice gradual climb.
Yeah.
To the
Agreed.
next step.
Okay. Good.
How does society's definition really impact or change how you or your definition of success? I would say maybe over time even.
Yeah. So I feel like when I was younger, success for me was definitely money. Money. Periods. Because it was definitely how much money can I accumulate in a certain amount of time. And then I feel like once I started to accumulate money, it just wasn't as satisfying to me. I feel like as if it would have been if I had somebody to share it with.
That's real.
So then I started to just look at it differently. I think even at my age now, though, sometimes I kind of battle with it because, like, I look at my circle, my friends and stuff, and when I talk about their success, I think for the most part I do reference it in a way of like money, like monetary. Like, oh, she's rich, or oh, she's a multi-millionaire, da 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 da. But I think out loud, that's what I say, even though I know like it's more to it than that.
Yeah.
But it's just what I say.
Yeah.
Because I think it's honestly it's a way for me to talk to people and have them understand the level of success in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some people, they just won't get it unless you speak in their language.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when I do it, I'm just speaking like for you, instance, right? When you tell people about what you do and stuff, and I'd be like, nah, she too.
Yeah. You always do
I
that.
always do it. But then
and
I started
love that
to.
for me. I need to keep you around me because
I'll be like, nah, she has so much more going on, all
Yeah.
these things. Because sometimes, like, know where you at.
Yeah.
Like, just know where you at. Know who you're around.
Yeah.
And sometimes, which is sad that people have to know so much about you or know a little too much
Yes, to give
have
you that level of respect that
yes,
you deserve.
that you deserve.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like we can be humble, but sometimes just let people know,
Yeah.
like, know where you at.
It's so funny that you say that because I'm always, every time I hear that kind of talk, I'm always going to revert back to when we went to look at that co-working space.
Mm.
You know, the energy just wasn't there for us, you know? And when we started talking to the host, and then he went and introduced us to someone next door. And then it's really like, hold up 1 second. And we went to exchange
Oh,
Instagram.
yeah.
And then, you know, because he's giving us this mediocre, like, kind
Very
of
much so.
And we're just like, okay, whatever. Because we ain't like that shit anyway.
At all.
But just entertaining, right?
Yes.
And so when we exchanged Instagrams, then he's like, oh, and really, like, surprised at the things that you were doing, first of all. Like, sir, we didn't say we were coming here to play, like, you know, and so just playing in people's
And we didn't
face.
want to be there anyway. So
Right, period. So
okay, sorry, we said we was coming from Bucket.
Yes, and so to speak certain, right? So to speak some people's language, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I'm opposite in terms of how I used to view success, because from young, I saw society's definition of success.
Yeah.
Because again, going to boarding school. Now I'm going to school with the heirs of Coca-Cola and Gucci,
right?
And so seeing how miserable they were and their family dynamic made me understand that no amount of money can make you happy. You know, it's the relationship. And so I think that really laid the framework for how I saw and developed my own version of success.
Yeah. Which makes sense, though, because so many people who seemingly have it all feel empty inside.
Yes.
Or like there's something missing.
Yes.
Or, you know, it's like, oh, I have all these things. I should be happy, but I'm not. You know what I mean? So.
And we see it a lot. Like when you see these kids who are rich and they have coke habits and their parents are never home, and so it's the nanny that, you know, they're gravitating to, and they have all these this dysfunction, and you're like, yo, you have everything, but they don't.
Right.
You know? So,
yes. Agreed.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Okay.
So beyond like material things, we know your definition of success, but how would you measure them? So I know you said they're meeting goals.
Yeah.
So how would you measure that?
How do I measure success?
Yeah, because we talk about talking to people on their level.
Yeah.
Right? And so how do you know that you've met that goal? What is your measurement if it's not material things?
Oh, that's a good question. And I think I'm forever learning. But I think that I define it by all the things that I've done and that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because I think it's so easy to get caught up in like, I'll be successful when.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That when comes and goes.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a journey that's the most important. The journey. If you can't enjoy the journey, you won't enjoy the destination. You know what I'm saying? So I think that being able to look back and say, look at all the amazing stuff I've done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look at all the things that I've accomplished, whether big or small, and just being grateful for those things. Because sometimes it's easy to get lost.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes it's easy to forget some of the things that we've done because we're so focused on in the future.
Yes.
so that we're not really just present to these moments.
Yeah.
So even now, with me not having it all, I still feel successful in my own right.
Yeah.
Even me trying to figure things out in life,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
because it could be worse. The situation could always be worse than what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we complain about not having the biggest house or not having this, and it's like, but at least I have somewhere to lay my head.
Yes.
And I love my place.
Yeah.
You know, I make it my own. I'm a plant mom now. So it's just like the little things along the journey to get to that destination whenever or wherever to be. Because that destination will come and then another one
Yes.
will form. So I think that's just how I measure it. I hope that answers the question.
It does. And, it brings me to want to really highlight two things that you said to make sure people understand and got what I got from it.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you said that really struck me, and I'm like, okay, Ebony, is that I'm forever learning, right?
Yeah.
And so evolution is great. Trying to figure out and find out where you are at the moment is great. Changing your idea of success is great. And I think it's important to know that you don't have to have the answers for everything.
Right.
And I just love that you're able to admit that, especially in a public forum.
Yeah.
So that was one. The other thing I really, really wanted to highlight is enjoying the journey that you're on.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we do have these small wins.
Yeah.
And those need to be celebrated
Right.
because you're putting your everything into it. And if you're just like, oh, go,
Right.
and not
You miss out on everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Can you really enjoy that?
Yeah.
You know?
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because if not, then when you get to it, it just
Yeah.
doesn't feel as good as it does when you can just appreciate the amount of time it took you to get there.
Yes.
Or the obstacles or challenges that you had to face to get there that you overcame. Because you have to
Yes.
overcome them or get through them in order to
Absolutely.
get to. So all of those things are important.
Yeah, they are. And I think that if you don't celebrate them, you will forget. And so when people come behind you or look to you as a successful person or mentor,
Yeah.
you don't remember that. You're
Right.
like, oh, well, I am here. I
Right.
am, or I do, or I have, as opposed to it was a
Yeah.
struggle and I went through.
Yeah.
I had to do,
Yeah.
And that journey is important for people to know.
Yes. And you know something? That's actually good that you said that, because one of the things that I don't like, a few things I learned when it comes to coaching, research people.
Right.
Make sure that they have information and content out there that you can relate to, that you feel is necessary for your growth.
Yeah.
Right? But then also with coaches in general, especially in this age of social media where anybody can be anything, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes we get to that place, that destination, and we only coach people from that destination.
Yeah.
Like when we were reaching out to people about this podcast, they're giving us what the equipment they have now. But please tell us where you started.
God. You want $5,000 for a what?
Can you coach us from where you started?
Yes.
Because we're starting here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to pay you for you to tell me everything you have accumulated over 3 to 5 years. What did you start with on day one? You know? So that's what popped in my head when you said that, because a lot of the times people forget the journey and then they coach people from that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I also think in forgetting the journey, you forget yourself.
Oh, girl, say it
right?
again.
Because we have to grow so much. And if you take for granted or forget that person you were when you started, you will not be humble enough to pull those up behind you.
That part.
You try to pull them up from here instead of remembering and meeting them where they are.
That's a good one, Stephanie.
Well, thank you. But it's true, and we see it all the time.
Yes.
And that's another reason why I've never really, I think you really pulled me into the networking thing and wanted to, or needing to try it more.
Yeah.
But that's one reason I never really liked networking and conferences and things like that, because I don't want to hear about you on that stage and where you are right now.
Right.
Help me through my struggles, my journey. Help me get a vision of where I want to be. Because I want to be where you at. You there.
Right.
Help me get my own vision so that I can find success in my own right.
Exactly. Agreed. Oh, gosh. That was good. Okay. So what about you? What are some of the things how do you measure success, or some of the ways you measure success?
So happiness for me, again, is comfort, right? So I like to work. So
Yeah.
sometimes money can play a role in it, but it doesn't define the happiness.
Okay.
So for me, being able to sponsor the vacation and see my kids playing on the beach, or seeing my daughter take, softball lessons, or, just be able to afford the things that would make them happy, having time to spend with them and
Yeah.
experiences, those things make me know, yes, I've done it, and I'm at a place now where I can enjoy my
Absolutely. The fruits
family.
of your labor.
Yes, I can enjoy my time, or even, seeing something that I built in action.
Yeah.
That to me is like success. Even if it's like the smallest thing, if it took me some time,
Yeah.
I just feel so great. My sign is on that bar at this, not nobody, but at this regular person's wedding,
Yeah.
and I did that shit. Like, it just makes you feel good to
Yeah.
see what you put your all into.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, question for you,
Yes.
because I love that we have different measures of success. So, I guess my question is aligning your goals with your definition of success, right? So, if
Yeah.
your measurement of success is meeting goals, how do you make sure that you're aligning those goals with like your values and what you ultimately think success is?
Okay. So I want to start by, because y'all know I'm going to be authentic as possible. So me and Stephanie had a conversation, and we've had multiple conversations around morals and values. And because I'm in this transitional phase where it's like breaking down old foundational roots and rebuilding like a new foundation,
Yeah.
I have come up against what are my morals and values. And that's crazy to say out loud on a public
It's
platform.
real.
Like, but I think sometimes we say things just to
Yeah.
say them, but we don't really have meaning behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still learning and creating what my morals and my values are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get my boundaries and I get what I'm gonna stand for.
Yeah.
But then what does it really mean with morals and values? I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So ask the question again, and let's see if I can answer it even if I don't know exactly what all of my values are.
Right. So the question is, so you said your one measurement of success, or how you know you're successful, is by
Achieving
meeting the
personal,
goals.
yeah.
Yes. So how do you make sure that the goals that you're setting
Yeah.
is aligned with your vision of success,
Okay.
and then it doesn't compromise your values?
Okay. So, I mean, I set myself up in the fourth quarter of each year for the following year. So, I kind of put my goals down, like the things that I would like to achieve, and how do they measure up to where I'm going? I mean, I think they all measure up to me just being the highest version of myself.
Yes.
Me being in everything that I achieve, to have integrity, and in every way that I'm being, to be a woman of substance,
Yeah.
and to building my wealth is appreciating the journey. And those are all the goals, right?
Yeah.
And they all just align in a way where it's like every day my only real goal is to be better than I was yesterday. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Like I'm open. I think sometimes this is what we lack, is the openness to change and grow. And it can be complicated sometimes because you want to be, I think it's malleable.
Yeah.
You want to be malleable, but to the right people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm in that space of being very malleable because I'm so open, but I have to make sure that the information that I'm consuming on an everyday basis and the people that I allow to be in my spaces are those for my highest good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that come from a place of love and not ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's important. Um, and it's funny because some of the words that you use are like something that should be for people across the board, right? Men, women, whatever.
for sure.
Integrity, and just making sure that you have substance when you're setting these goals. And I think that the waters can get muddied when the definition of success is get into the bag.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
you'll do it by any means necessary.
You will, yeah,
and
yeah.
not necessarily align with your values.
Yeah.
And, sometimes people say, "Oh, I wouldn't," but if all those memes that I see, would you slap your mama for $1 billion?
Girl.
My guy, do you know how crazy that is? Like,
It is.
and that just goes to show you that people will do anything for the right number.
They will.
And that's not really how we should live our life, because then that means anybody can buy you.
Anybody, oh girl, she just said a word.
Mm-hmm.
That, and then that's what it gives though, that
Yeah.
anybody can buy you. And I think I'm in a space because I've been in that space where it's like, I'm going to take all the clients. I'm going to
Yeah.
take all the clients, everybody. I don't need them all. I don't
No.
even want them all. And it's interesting because in society, it is so competition, competition, competition.
Yeah.
Like everybody is in competition. I've never been the person that's like, I need to have the number one cater company or I need to be the best chef in America. I
Yeah.
don't care about that because
Yeah.
I feel like it's so much for everybody
Mm-hmm.
in this world to win.
Yeah.
I don't need to be number one. I don't look to be number one.
Yeah.
I am who I am, and who is for me, the client who's for me will come for
Yeah.
me. Or the things that I'm supposed to do, they'll come my way. My only competition really is myself. Because I strive to just be and do better. I'm
Yeah.
always thinking of like, okay, what can I do to make this, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And go above and beyond for the clients that I love. I mean, I love all of you guys, but the ones I really love.
Yeah. That's so funny. Shady. But so funny. Because, and it reminds me, when you were saying that, it reminds me of like posting on Instagram and all social media platforms, I guess. My business Instagram is just not a reflection of the things that I do.
At all, but it's
You know?
okay.
It is okay because
Yes.
I love the vein that I'm in, the clients that I get, and I'm booked and busy, but I don't need to, or I don't feel the need to show off or,
Yes.
boast about those things. But like, it's weird that I feel like some people do.
Yeah.
They need the awards and the nominations and all the accolades to show other people. But to me, I don't really care.
Right.
Now, if you see me posting a lot, that means that I ain't got shit going on and I need y'all to come. But at the moment, I just feel like, for what?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I say that all the time though. Like, social media can be an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have social media to have a successful business.
Correct.
Period.
Correct. We're
The
evidence of
success
that, I
comes
think.
from word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't, first of all, I haven't posted in I don't know how long.
I know.
I don't care about it.
Yeah.
And I also don't want you to expect it from me. And I
Yeah.
don't want it to become a job or chore.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one of the things that I was playing back and forth in my head with the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to give people something. I don't want it to be like in such a way that I have to stop everything that I'm doing because
Yeah.
I've said this is what we're going to do, because then it becomes like another job. And I
Yeah.
still want to, in like my own way, be free.
Yeah.
Free to do it if I want to do it.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to do it because I'm doing something else, I'm free not to do it too.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? So
I think that that's important though. Just having the comfort in something and to maintain the joy of doing that thing without it starting to feel taxing.
yes.
Because
Agreed.
that's when it's just like, ugh. And I think it then starts to show in your work.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to get me a social media manager. I said that in 2024. Now, I don't know if that's December or, but before 2024 is over, I'm going to get me a manager. But not because that's something that I want to do. I want to show what I've done.
Yeah.
And just have a record. Because I think that when your phone gets full or you're looking for that picture from when you were young, it's always nice to have some place to go back and reflect, Yeah. Facebook has saved me. Shout out to Facebook. I feel like every episode I shout out Facebook. But shout out to
It's
you.
okay.
Because I'm always able to like go in the archives or they'll pull up a memory or something,
Yeah.
But to use it for validation, I think is something different.
It is. Social media is becoming in a way scary.
Okay.
Especially with AI.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I don't like putting my personal business out, which is crazy because I'm on a podcast putting my personal business out there, right? My God. But like, I've been wanting to delete everything because I just feel like you don't know who's looking, who's watching.
Yeah.
I've seen so many videos with AI picking up your voice, then becoming you, or taking your picture and become like, it's a lot. And how many like scam artists do we have out here?
Yeah.
And like robots and people that come to your page that you have to delete because it's like, who are you? What is it? Who sent you here? The fuck? I don't know you. Delete. Block. So yeah, I think it's just being careful. Post what you don't mind being out there.
Yeah, yeah, for
Sometimes
sure.
people post
Way too
way
much.
too
Yeah.
much. Way too much. And then you have to realize that people prey on the internet,
Mhm.
especially
Mhm.
with our younger generation.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So to feel like you need that for a sense of validation, you really don't.
You don't.
You get that from within you, from the
Within.
people around you. So to be successful, that's not something that you have to really show. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an internal thing.
Why do you think people need or feel the need to show or post to say, yes, I'm successful?
Because they're empty on the inside.
Mm,
Truly.
yeah.
There's a void that they're trying to fill. There is, anytime we need, and I'm saying this from a space because I've been there.
Yeah.
Not that I post anything, I don't care what people, but I've been in a space where I needed validation from those close to me, or I
Mm-hmm.
wanted validation for those close to me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I started loving on myself
Yeah.
and doing some real internal work
Yeah.
with past experiences that just made me realize, like, everything I want to need, I already have.
Right.
And it's good to get the compliments and the validation from people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a compliment, thank you, but I do it for myself.
Yeah.
I get up, I speak my affirmations, I say what I'm grateful for,
Mm-hmm.
I meditate, I write in my journal when necessary.
Yeah.
So I feel like because I do all the things for myself now, I just have a different outlook. Like, thank you for telling me, but
Yeah.
I know it. Like, I
Yeah.
feel it for myself.
Yeah.
It's something that I hold true for myself. And it's a space that I've never been in before.
Oh, so that must be exciting.
It's really exciting. It's really exciting. And you start to see it, like, when you start to level up, you start to see other people's level up.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of like, always, even in dating, always look at it as like a game. Because you go through one level, but you can't go to the next level until you get complete with this
Right.
level, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And then, so it's like one relationship is over or one friendship is over, but you see the growth and evolution in yourself
Yeah.
moving up to the next person, because all the people that are around us are a mirror of us in some shape, form, or way. You know what I mean? So you really get to see where you are in life by the people that you associate yourself with, or
For
the people you
sure.
get in relationships with,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah.
I think that it's a fear of failure, but also a fear of failure that's widely known, right? Because sometimes if you have a fear of failure, you just won't do a thing,
Yeah.
right? And you just will accept not growing in that area. You're just
Yeah.
content. But there are times when there's a fear of failure of public knowledge, which I think is a reason why people stay married. They should get divorced. What are people gonna think? But also in success, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. But let me show them that I am. Like, you know?
Right.
So that fear of people thinking that you're a failure, so you buy these followers or buy these likes, you know, just
Yeah.
to appear successful when you don't really have to. Put in the work and
Yeah.
I think it will come.
Yeah. I think so too. That's kind of how I see the lottery. It's like so many people depend upon, like, the lottery to become successful, and it's like your odds for doing the work yourself are
Yeah.
better off.
So much better. Yeah. Even scamming. The energy that you put into scam people, having to watch your back, just put that work and effort into something that, you know, you want to do, or a goal that you could meet, or
Absolutely.
something, you know, and your
Absolutely.
chances of enjoyment, success, and having like a less stressful life is so much higher.
Absolutely. Agreed. 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 The validation, though, is real. It's real for a lot of people. I think that sometimes we put too much emphasis on what other people think.
Yeah.
And honestly, because I've been there, I just don't think people are really caring that much.
Yeah.
We think they care,
Yeah.
but I don't think they care as much. And maybe a few people care. You know, you could probably count on your hand 5 people, but that's not the majority, you know?
Right.
And
Right.
most of the people that are so concerned with your success and how you're living are those who aren't doing it,
Period. Yes.
you know?
Yes. I'm not doing it so I'm gonna judge you,
Right.
or I'm gonna tell you you can't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because the ones that are doing it, they're rooting for you.
Yeah. They're rooting for you, or they ain't got the time to
They
be
ain't got the
judging.
time. They ain't
So
got the
they would
time.
rather see you succeed, you know?
Exactly.
It's so funny because I think that sometimes we need to fail, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the lesson, for the growth, and
Yeah.
for, like, you know, just to challenge yourself, to be stronger in yourself. But I think that if you have this fear of failure and you put forth this image that you're not, how can you be successful? How can you grow for real,
Yeah.
if you're not doing the work?
Yeah. Well, the image is only the image. I mean, you can only lie to so many people. The people that's closest to you, I
They gonna
don't
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
yeah,
Unless you're that good.
yeah.
But yeah, they'll know.
So how can we help people embrace, or how have you embraced the setbacks and then embrace the failures to see the growth?
Yeah. First I'll say that I don't think you can grow without failure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
How do you grow if you don't fail at some point?
Right. Right.
You know? But the question was how to navigate it.
Yeah. How do you embrace and navigate?
Okay. Well, I embrace the failure for one,
Mm-hmm.
because it teaches me a lesson.
Yeah.
It's either teaching me what to do differently next time or what not to do
Yeah.
next time. You know what I mean? And I think that every experience is a lesson in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you brace yourself for those moments,
Mm-hmm.
then it won't hurt as much when you are unprepared for them,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I think when it comes to life or business, it's just inevitable
Yeah.
that you are going to fail at some point.
Yeah.
And it is okay.
Yeah.
I think like one of them guys on what's that Shark Tank, one of them people had said that he doesn't even work with certain people who haven't failed at least 2 or 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
because he want to make sure that when the shit hit the fan,
Yeah.
are you capable of getting up and doing it all over again?
Right.
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 So I think it's important to just know, like, when something doesn't work out, it's always in your favor, though.
Yeah.
It's on purpose to me. I feel like things happen
For
for
a
us,
reason.
not to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just take it as it is and just learn how to navigate it and move on, like,
Yeah.
in a better direction.
For sure. I think that fear of failure is real, but it's an opportunity for you to think outside the box, right?
Yeah.
So if you do have this fear of failure, what are the fears? First
Right.
of all, list them down. And then how can you navigate those? How can you, if they come up, how can you address them? You know,
Yeah.
how can you prevent them? And I think that challenges your mind, it challenges your character,
Yeah.
and it helps you grow, so that once those things, if they do come up, or when
Yeah.
they do come up, you at least have a plan for that, right?
Agreed.
For you to be able to grow.
Agreed.
And then two, I think it helps not just for your journey, but for other people's, right? And so I think that even in life, when we experience certain things, certain traumas and things like that, it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, why me? But you are able to handle, right? He's not going to
Yeah.
give you more than you can handle. And so you go through those things, you push through those things, so that people it would break.
Yeah.
You have a story, you have
You
a helping
do.
hand for them.
Yeah. I think it's important too. And one of the things that I had to come into realization with is that what we focus on becomes our reality.
Ooh.
You know? So even in the midst of things not working out in our favor, if that's how we assume it to be, even though it is working out for us, we just can't see it in that moment.
Yeah.
It is so important to just focus on the things that did work.
Yes. Yes.
Just focus
Yes.
on all, because honestly, that list is probably way longer than the opposite. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Focus on the things that did work. Take note of the things that didn't work, so that way you don't do it again.
Yes.
The crazy part is when you fail and then you get back up and you do the same thing the same.
That is the legit definition
Okay.
of crazy. Okay? If it didn't work, don't do the same thing again.
Learn, people,
Yeah.
from the mistakes.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, yeah. And then I think also at a certain point, we have to take accountability that it's not fear of success.
Yeah.
I mean, fear of failure.
Okay.
But it's the fear of success.
Ooh.
Like, I think for me, because with every success comes a new level of success.
Yeah.
It doesn't get easier, guys. I mean, not for me anyways. Like, I be coming up with so much stuff and I be like, Lord, how am I going to do this? Why are you putting these ideas into me? Because I have no idea how I'm going to carry these things out.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any easier. Every new thing can be a little scary. Mm-hmm. So it's just like learning how to push past that. But I think that for a long time, I had a fear of success because now if I go along with this, whatever this is for me, I have to then show up and be that person every day.
Every time.
Every day. So sometimes it's the fear of leveling up because we're so comfortable where we are. Yes. Damn. And I just got that, guys, in this moment.
It's real.
It's real. Yeah. It's like the fear of success is also the fear of like growth and change and getting out of your comfort zone. But to do it is beauty in it. Yeah. But it's not going to be easy. And it shouldn't be easy. Anything worth having is definitely going to take some work and some risk. Yeah. But I think that the outcome is always beauty.
Absolutely.
It's always beautiful.
It's so funny that you say that because one of my vendors, boy, shout out to Jennifer, WBE, shout out to you. She always comes to me with this crazy shit. Okay. And I'll just be like, no, in my first mind, I'm always like, no, I can't do that. How am I going to do that? Where would I even start? You know, all these things cross my mind, but I always tell her, yeah, of course. Yeah. And in my mind, I'm like shitting bricks. And then it's like just fearful of all of the things that could go wrong. My fear of not knowing. But then if I get this shit, is she going to want it more? Like, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then you go through it. Research, of course. You get through it and you're like, oh my God.
I did this.
I did that.
Period.
Yes. And you're like, it wasn't so bad. Meanwhile, you done earned respect from the client. Yeah. You done earned some education from yourself from all the research that you've done. Yeah. And now you have something else under your belt that you can do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so just, it's okay to be fearful. Yeah. Right? But how you address that fear and push through, the outcome is always so much more important. Like, these emotions are normal. Yeah. And go through them, but still push yourself.
Still push yourself. I think that's why it is so very important to align yourself with people that are going to challenge and push you and motivate you. Mm-hmm. Because it is so easy for us to, and even for myself, even in this moment, it's so many things that I want to do. Yeah. And I'm just like, yo, how? Yeah. I don't know where to start. And the not knowing where to start phase stops me every time. It stops me every time. Yeah. And it's like, when am I just going to do it? Yeah. I don't know how. So it's like trying to figure out like the how. That's why I try to be as vulnerable as I am with people, because in my vulnerability, maybe you can help me in some way. Maybe you'll give me some type of tool or put me in, push me or point me in the right direction that I can then take the first step. Yeah. So I think that it's so important for people to just surround themselves with people that are going to push them and motivate them and cheer them on. Yeah. And if you don't have people in your life that you feel like that, go find a mentor, go find a coach, go find someone who exudes or has the characteristics or the job titles or the motivation that you need and want in your life, and attach yourself to them. Be of service. Yes. Don't just go to people expecting and wanting something and giving absolutely nothing. Yeah. Because how is it a win-win situation? You know what I mean? Like, come in and see what you can do for them in a very genuine way, but also while letting them know, like, I would love to get this or I would love to learn this.
You, and I see where you are, and that's where I want to be. Because people love to hear that. Yeah. Because, again, we're not looking for validation from external forces, but it does make you feel like, okay, the work I'm doing is making a difference.
Yeah.
So just leading with that, I think is super important.
Yeah.
And then seeing how you can, again, be a benefit.
Yeah. And genuine people who are doing amazing things, they have no problem helping other people,
None
pointing
at
them in the
all.
right direction.
None at
It's
all.
something that I feel like a lot of people even want to do. So if you
Yeah.
go up to someone and you say, like, I respect what you're doing, I love what you're doing, not on social media, guys.
Right.
If it, even if it's somebody on social media, it's nothing wrong with jumping in the DMs. But how about you go and support an event?
Yes.
Buy a VIP ticket. Get back there.
Yep.
Get a talk with them, and then just tell them like where you are. Write an email. Not no one paragraph, but just let
Yeah.
them know where you are, what you're looking for, and don't let it be from a handout point of view.
Correct.
Just let it be mutual. Go ahead.
Yeah, and even something as simple as a like.
Yeah.
And a comment, right? I will never forget. This girl was talking about this on a some live I saw, and she was talking about how somebody came in her DM and was like, "Hey, I would love for you to help me do this thing," and she was like, "Okay, but this name doesn't feel familiar. Let me see." And that person had never liked anything that she did, never didn't even follow her, just
Right.
saw something, wanted to learn, and sent a message. She's like, you've never supported me, so why would I even want to think about
Right.
giving you anything?
Right.
You know?
That part.
Yeah,
Be of service to people.
for real.
Don't be a burden. Don't be a liability.
Yeah,
You'll get more with that than anything else.
for sure.
Yeah, agreed. So some of the things that I wrote down for like just tips that people can do. One is define what success means to you.
For sure.
Write down in your journal, what does success mean for you?
And it's going to be different for everybody.
It is going to be different for everybody.
So don't be or feel any type of way if it's different than our definition.
Absolutely. Because we are us.
Yeah. And
I am
it.
me. Right. And y'all are it. And then once you define what success means to you, write down. This is okay. So I'm changing it because what I wrote down before was write down what's stopping you from being successful.
Yeah.
But really, what I want you to ask yourself is, who do I need to become in order to get the success that I want?
Yeah.
Who do I need to become?
Yeah.
Let's not even think about what's stopping you, right? Because then you're focusing on
the negative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who do I need to become
Yeah.
in order to obtain the success that I want? Write those down.
Yeah.
I think those are two very important questions that we can ask ourselves. And then the third question that I wrote, I thought to ask the people were like, write down 5 goals that align with your definition of success. All focusing on positive things.
All focusing on positive things. All focusing on internal things.
Yeah.
To things that you can look inside of yourself and
Yeah.
really get, not anything that you need to go and search for outside of you.
Exactly. These are questions that you have to ask yourself, not anyone else. You don't need anybody else's perspective, you know? These are things that you need to sit with. And if you don't know, it's okay not to know. Just write what's there for you in that moment.
Yeah.
Think about it, come back to it, but it's okay with not knowing. Just start the process, because I think once you start to ask yourself the question, it'll come to you.
And not will it only just come to you, but you'll find that by reflecting on that, as you move through life or your day or whatever, you'll start to be like, oh, this is another thing. Because you've already started the process of thinking about it, you know?
Exactly.
So it's easier to move in that way.
Exactly. I actually agree with that.
Oh.
I actually agree with that.
Do you?
Yeah. It's happened in this podcast. Sitting here talking.
Right.
When you start to think about the things and talk about the things, they start to come to you. You have those aha moments like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's
so
good.
agreed. Okay.
I think that we've given a lot of important tools and our experiences, and I really can't wait to see how it helps everyone blossom on their journey, including myself. Like, I've learned some things in this episode that I think I'm going to take back with me as soon as it's over. So I'm excited to see how it works out for you. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what your thoughts are on success, and then share with us some of the goals that you have to see if some other folks are on the same journey as you, or they can benefit from what your ideas are.
Absolutely. And this episode, we are going to extend it, especially some of the journal prompts, to our Patreon account. So guys, please remember, it'll be in the description below.
Yes.
If you want to sign up for one of the tiered memberships where you can get a little bit of one-on-one in a group in a group setting,
Group setting, yes.
with us, and talk more in depth about some of the journal prompts that we have, some of the tools,
Yeah.
whatever questions that you have. Actually, you can always ask things in the comments.
Absolutely.
But for sure, when you are a member of the Talk, Heal, Evolve franchise, because I love that for us, you'll actually get us giving you all the tools and having the
Yeah.
conversations with you all on a more personal in-group type of level
Yeah.
than you will if you just post in the comments.
Absolutely. The link is going to be right here.
Period.
Click on that Patreon link and join our community.
Absolutely. Look forward to talking with you soon, guys.
Yes.
Bye.